They're telling her to move.
And even if we're not getting directly attacked, there are still chemical spills and pandemics.
Absolutely no one is even noticing this, so we need to go deeper into this so we can get the full picture of what's really about to happen here. Something else major has brewed up as the curfew goes into effect.
Not doing anything. Come on, we're moving.
You have to find a way to your apartment or your house, and you in this situation, find another way around. Because it looked like they're just popping people, no questions asked. But strangely enough, as all this is happening, what's happening behind the scenes there's an aerobiological containment plane laying in wait in GA for some strange reason. This lines up with something huge that during the riots actually plays into a major plan. This is concerning because I've seen potable water only in the military's mission is going to be longer or where there's water attacks potentially happening. 2 weeks ago, CDC put out an emergency water supply plan letting us know something is coming. So now we know more about the next big move. The biological plane in Cartersville, GA is laying in wait for something that is coming. And this is apparent because they released this right before the riot. Why do they need to revise different methods about the biological mask weeks before the LA riot? New time limitations introduced said, do not use masks beyond 6 to 8 hours of chemical exposure. It expanded approved masks in the event of biological, radiological, nuclear, and chemical attacks. So the 3 agencies that are connected to this is CDC, DOD, who's in the riots right now, and Department of Homeland Security, who's also in the riots right now. And just 2 days ago, we saw this happening with somebody in the military. Now this leads us to this huge plan that FEMA and CDC pre-scripted for civil unrest. But first, people have shown me something that looks biological that's being released. One of my viewers sent me this photo after. I cannot stress this enough. Stay out of the rain. One of my viewers sent these photos. It's absolutely disgusting. His son actually caught this on camera photo. A sack of rain full of shrieking parasites. You can see them right there. Look closely. And they're doing this now because it's the perfect time during the riots where nobody's going to be even looking at this because everything else is happening. Which leads us to the FEMA plan and CDC plan during riots and unrest. Nobody's even noticing. Now, we gotta try to figure out if that's actually happening right now. So one of the more super abnormal stories that somebody goes and gets themselves tested And
There's some kind of mystery respiratory thing going on right now that is not COVID that I have been stricken by, and I want to talk about why it actually matters that it isn't COVID. I got it from having to fly for work over 2 weeks ago. I have been sick as a dog for 10 days now, but I've had coughing so hard I threw up, I've had fever, I have extreme fatigue, and I have tested negative on 5 different COVID tests on 5 different days during that 10-day period. 2 different brands. 2 of those tests were combo COVID flu brands. I also don't have flu A or B, and I'm negative for strep.
is she the only one experiencing this in the month of June? And this guy, he tried to go and get like a hazmat suit, and apparently, now I was wondering where did this rash come from and what was he doing, but he didn't give more context on that. So the 2025 mask updated requirements was strange because then you had the Colorado Police Department come out just today and start saying this. Sleeper cells are on active attack right now, so I believe they're going to start targeting specifically, and it could just be areas to toxically take people out. So don't be surprised if more attacks like this start happening.
Over here, boys. Oh, shit,
And the reason why this is most effective to disrupt populations is because you can then shut down and the reason we know that they have more targets is because the paid protesters who are in this stuff are saying this.
When I was out in Los Angeles protesting the ICE deportations for the past few days, besides the fact that I got paid $150 to do so per day, I kept seeing signs everywhere that this was being funded by somebody much higher than the person that I'd met. For instance, they would give us certain streets or certain targets to go to, and on those streets, there would be pallets of things that could cause destruction to the community. I am not joking. For instance, you turn a corner, boom, there's a pallet of bricks. Oh, that's convenient, let's destroy the community. And y'all know me, I'm a good guy, but I truly do not care that much about the ICE deportations. I just wanted that $150 a day. But I got to thinking, man, whoever is funding this must really hate this country. So as time goes on while we're protesting and things evolve, they evolve in a lot more violent nature. For instance, instead of there being a pallet of bricks on the Target neighborhood or Target street that we are protesting on, it'll be a pallet of flammable objects. So it was at that moment when I saw that pallet of Molotov cocktails sitting on the ground, I thought, man, should I really be doing this? Like, this is bad news. This is gonna get way worse. Now, I'm not from Los Angeles or live in Los Angeles, so I don't really care about destroying that community, but I'm American after all. Like, this is not good. Moral to the story is there are certain people in our government that wants us to go burn the local police station down, but in actuality, the corruption's at a much higher level.
And it's not just a biological scenario. It's not just the hidden agenda behind the riots. Washington, D.C. is now guarding up as the threat level just increased, and we're probably going into wartime activations.
What the fuck? Get back.
This is what you need to know. In your jurisdiction, in each area across the United States, there are 56 FBI field offices. So whenever this biological or whatever event happens, they're going to be designated to go into these cities, in these areas, and investigate the population, investigate the situation. And how do we know that they're not going to be tyrannical and start ripping people out of their houses or doing all types of crazy stuff? If they do that, they're going to see something they never wanted to see. But here's what shocks and shake the chicken right off your plate that you really need to listen to. When this outbreak happens, we won't be notified at all. They'll be sitting there on their hands talking about protocol. And meanwhile, we're already getting hit with it. That's why you don't get information unless it's from channels like this. And on May 30th, right before the freaking protests happened, the head of the freaking National Biodefense Board said we're under biological freaking attack. And nobody's noticing that right now because now everybody has spread out and they said in big crowds is where this thing would be the best to circulate. And then after all this is over, we'll see the actual intensity increase. And they'll tell us, oh, well, now we got to do X, X, and Y to keep you safe.
Okay, what is this sickness that is going around in, it's not just our town, but like Oregon, I guess. But I've had this for like probably 5-6 days. I don't even know because the last week has been a blur. So it started out where I had like a dry throat. It didn't hurt. My throat's never hurt, but I've had a dry throat where I almost had like dry patches in my throat. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night and just be so thirsty. And then a couple days, or I'd say the next day, I started having like extreme fatigue. I was so tired and just, I felt like I got hit by a bus, and then I was getting hot and cold chills. And then it moved down into my chest, and I've had this like feeling, only way I can explain it is if I feel like I have just phlegm coated in my lungs.
What is happening in your town? What is happening in your state? Let us know in the comment section. We have an active real-time community. In order for you to get all the updates and be aware of what's going on that people won't talk about, subscribe here now. We're going to have more coming tomorrow. We have a huge update coming. Don't miss.